Hey there. This is Patrick. Welcome to the Client Success Secrets Show. This is the show that is trying to answer the question, how can marketing experts support 100% of the clients succeed so that they get results and they achieve what they're promised in the programs? It does seem like a big, broad question, but at the same time, I think it's so important because the real problem here is that there are too many entrepreneurs out there who buy in who are buying online courses and coaching programs, but they don't finish them. And I made it my mission to figure out first the big why behind that happens, and second, what we can do about it as leaders in this industry. Because here's the thing, um, we may think that there's something going on with our clients, that they're not taking action, that they are unmotivated, that they're lazy, that there's only so much we can do, right? I mean, you can't just hold it by the hand and do everything with them. You can't be 24/7 supporting clients, especially at scale, right? If you have 50 clients or more, it's going to be pretty much impossible to do that. So that is the answer. That is the big question that we're trying to address here. So, and honestly, I'm extremely excited. This is our episode 1 for Client Success Secrets. And there's going to be a lot to cover, but let me tell you what the 3 main points are going to be in the next perhaps 60 minutes ish. So the first thing is that I'm going to tell you one client success secret of the day. So I have taken online courses and coaching programs for a long time with very, very different results. I have bought courses that never opened, guilty. I've taken action on the courses, but not seen results. I got stuck at some point. I showed up to all the lessons, never took action. Like there's any scenario you can imagine, I've been there. I finished an entire marketing course and didn't make sales. I finished just part of a marketing course. I made sales. Like there's so much to talk about for me to share. So section 1 is the client secret, the client success secret of the day. Section 2 is going to be sharing what I'm working on. So I am very enthusiastic about sharing my journey with you. And today you're going to find what my plan is to go from zero to $300,000 in 12 months. So super exciting. And the third part is going to be what I like to call combat coaching in action. And this is the section where I'm going to share one tactic from my unique framework that can help you turn unsuccessful clients into raving fans who get results. So I just can't wait to, share everything that we have planned, and just go with it. Engage, leave your comments, leave your reactions, and let's get to it. So the first thing is that the client success secret of the day. So as I said, I've not only taken lots of courses, but I've always been the kind of person who analyzes and observes way beyond the advice that I'm getting, that I really understand how it works. And I can really play with the different nuances that brings it. I'm not the kind of person who just believes in the experts and do everything that they say. I'm not really that kind of person. And it makes a lot of sense. Now that time has gone by and I got to know myself in a whole new way. But one of the things that I learned, one of the many, many things that I've learned during that time, is that you can create an online community for clients only in order to support them better. So how does this work? So I remember learning this strategy by seeing it myself. So it happened a few years ago. I joined the course. It was a group coaching program, and I believe I'm allowed to share that stuff. Honestly, if anybody has something to complain to me about, be my guest. But to my understanding, I can try. I'm gonna be trashing a lot of people in during this show. No, not tonight specifically, but during this show, I'm gonna be trashing probably a lot of problems, a lot of programs that fall short. But anyway, to my understanding, I know I'm going off topic. To my understanding, if somebody who's bought a product or service and used it has a right to talk about it in content without getting in trouble. Anyway, so I joined this course a couple of years ago called The Coach's Secret by Akbar Sheikh. And he's a super amazing mentor. I learned a ton from him. And I think to me, even despite the fact that I noticed a lot of holes in that program, I believe that it's one of the best out there. So, and one of the biggest elements, one of the biggest components of this program is that they had a Facebook group. So Facebook group, clients only Facebook group, right? This is not your thing where you are, you know, funneling clients into like turning cold leads into warm and then warm into clients. That's another story. That's a marketing strategy. Here we're talking about fulfillment strategies. So, and a lot of the discussions around client success are going to involve the term fulfillment. Anyway, so this community is super amazing. It's filled with a lot of people who are really putting themselves out there, who are getting a lot of results, and who care a lot about supporting each other. It's a great community, and in all sincerity, I should probably leverage more the benefits of being in this place. But what I realized, as far as a client success secret, is that this is extremely, extremely helpful. So you put together a lot of people who have a common goal. They're experiencing the same program together, and they have these goals, right? So no matter what you think you need or you don't need, or even if you're getting maybe too much expert advice rather than doing work as a client, right? You have this possibility. And honestly, this is extremely helpful because uh, being an entrepreneur can be very lonely, to be honest. And having a community like this, it does pushes people forward. So people feel more supported. They feel like there is more people like them out there. They also encourage each other. You can even post questions and get feedback from other people. They are experienced, inexperienced. Like everybody has the right to give their feedback. You're just gonna have to, be a smart person who knows what they're doing. But honestly, I find this strategy extremely, extremely useful. Potentially, like it happened in this group, you could network as well. You could build some interesting long-term relationships that could, move you to the next level. So I've done some networking. I found more mentors, more than, Akbar himself, and I thought it was extremely useful. I learned a lot, and I, got a couple of businesses started, and I thought it was fascinating. And every time you need anything, you just ask if there is an expert like that in the group. Obviously, not all coaching programs for marketing are going to be filled with experts, but that element was super, super unique about this program. And, my take for you is that if you don't have a clients only community for your group coaching program, you should totally get it started. And it's so much better for them to have access to. And you can be super moderate about the amount of time that you're spending there. Obviously, this client success secrets a show is all about not using all your time to fulfill on your clients, right? Because that doesn't work either. That's not what you signed up for. And yeah, like I said, you are going to decide how involved you want to be in this community, but you could potentially do like so many things. You could encourage people to share their goals. You could encourage people to share their problems. There are going to be multiple perspectives on the thing. But let me tell you something. In my opinion, you can take things to a next level, a much better one. But I'm going to leave you hanging there. We're going to leave that for section 3. Now I want to talk about what I'm working on. So you really need to get to know me better. Like I've started this idea of a coaching business only a few months ago, and it has taken me quite a while to figure out what I wanted to do, who I wanted to work with, and how. And but now I have a lot more clarity. So let me tell you a little bit on how it all started. So in at the same time, I'm going to reveal my master plan to go from zero to $300,000 in 12 months. All right. So it all started with my last business venture. I was a YouTube coach at the time, which honestly was super awesome. I had such a good time. I met wonderful people. I worked with plenty of clients who needed to get their word out there through video. It was very exciting. I have a love, all time love for entertainment, and that's what I was doing. And for some reason, I'm gonna make this part short, but for some reason, I got to a point where I just didn't think I could do that anymore. So there were problems with the markets, there were problems with the clients, there were problems with um, marketing. The overall marketing was extremely difficult to execute. Um, I ran a couple of challenges. I honestly tried dozens of things to make that business work, and it was working to some extent, but never to the point that I wanted. And honestly, between us, I am sure that I could have gone like to great length to make that work, but for some reason, it looks like my love for that business idea was not to that extent. So it almost feels like it wasn't going to help me grow to the level that I was meant to grow. And I am telling you this now, but at the time, I had no idea what I was going to do next. I seriously didn't. And I sat down and I started talking to my family. And we said, well, what am I going to do next? Should I try something different? Should I keep going with challenges, knowing that it's one of the best marketing strategies out there and I still believe in challenges? Or what if we change the idea altogether? That's it. Honestly, my family is super supportive about my entrepreneurial journey. That's a privilege not too many people have, but I am very, very grateful that I do. And we said, what if we change the audience? It looks like the audience is sort of difficult, and no matter what I do, I never get to the level that I want. But it was more about it was way more than just being stuck or failing a lot. Something within me told me that I needed to move on to something else. And that something else is the idea that we're talking about today. In a way, it is client success secrets, but I'm going to tell you more specifically what's going on. But once I decided that I was done with YouTube coaching, I decided to start a new idea. And then one of the things that I learned as I was coaching YouTubers is that the idea in the case of YouTubers, the channel idea, or in the case of an entrepreneur, the business idea was one of the most important things. So the business idea, when the business idea is not strong enough, meaning you're solving a big problem for people in a very unique way, things are going to be difficult, very, very difficult. And what a lot of people don't know is that I remember one of my friends telling me this. He said he's a business mentor and he's honestly super awesome and a good friend too. And he told me, you can go, you're gonna get further with a great idea and bad execution than you would with a bad idea with great execution. I know it sounds a little confusing, but basically the idea can be great, and however you execute it or implement it can be so, and you still will be successful. But when the idea is weak, your execution could be amazing, and you're still going to have a lot of problems. Do you get this? This is the foundation. That's one of the things that I had been doing wrong for the longest time. So I questioned myself for so long, saying, "Oh, it must be my mindset. It must be that I'm not consistent. It must be that I'm not working hard enough. It must be that I am afraid to put myself out there. It might be that I'm afraid of getting rejected. That I don't want to do sales calls. Like I was totally beating myself up. with these ideas that so many people, you might be guilty of this, so many people don't stop spreading. And what I really needed at the time is somebody to tell me, business idea, first, is not that great. And second, it may not be the best type of business for you in particular. That's what I needed someone to tell me. No one did. So I had to, lay my own path. And what I did was to say, okay, what do I do with this? I know I need to come up with a really, really good idea. So what happened after that is that I decided to solve my problems like I usually do, which is by taking a course. So this time, I only took the piece of the course that I needed so that I could come up with my big idea. So the course that I took was called The Art of the Startup by Justin Kan. Justin Kan is one of the co-founders of Twitch TV, and he's worked with a lot of um, Y Combinator companies, people who like work in this like incubator state startups and all that. So he's a startup genius, in other words. And I know I had this course. I didn't buy it. I got it from many years ago, and I said, okay, so what is his process to come up with a really solid idea? I mean, when you build a lot of startups, you have to think that this person has taken ideas from nothing to empires. And that is precisely what I needed. I am a very ambitious kind of guy, by the way. And then he said, okay, I'll follow the process. I don't need the entire course. I'm going to follow the process to nail the idea. And his process was so different to what I was used to. How there are too many marketing coaches. I'm going to strike a nerve or two here who say, oh, just come with your offer statement or value statement or your elevator pitch, whatever you want to call it. I help X do Y by Z, right? I'm not gonna lie, that to this day that's an effective strategy, but I was not too. I didn't think that was enough guidance for me personally. And that's one thing you need to understand about your clients. It's not always that simple. They need a little bit of help. So this process was completely different. It started with a problem. The steps were there, but the order was so different, so particular. So I started with the problem, then the solution, and then the audience. And it sounds super simple the way I'm saying it right now, but I spent almost 2 weeks brainstorming problems. What's really cool about that exercise is that it required you to share problems that you had yourself. And so you see where I'm going with this. But the problem that I came across was too many entrepreneurs join online courses and coaching programs, but don't finish them. So when I hit on that idea, I said, there is something big here. It was just a hint. I had very little to go with, but that problem spoke to me. It was really big. And I said, how many other people may have this problem? That was my next question. So I continued digging, and then I digged and I digged and I digged. And then the next part of the assignment was to find solutions. And not only any solution, you had to come up with 10x solutions. That's what Justin Kan was saying in the video lesson. You have to find 10x solutions. And again, heavy brainstorming. I wrote everything that was coming out of my mind. I even used ChatGPT a lot to assist. And then I came up with an idea. Interestingly enough, the idea didn't come from ChatGPT, even though it inspired me. But as I was typing, I remember that I was at my desk on my computer, and I was typing all these solutions, typing. By the way, I want to add a little note to this. In my opinion, nailing your business idea, you gotta use this for your clients. Nailing your business idea is something that you shouldn't rush. I know that people say, oh, you're not taking action, you're procrastinating, you're delaying, you have doubts, you have a poor mindset. Please listen to me. Listen to this. there are going to be parts of your journey where you want to slow down on purpose because your mind is a very powerful device. And once you put an idea out there, you're going to open yourself to receiving insight. And that insight could be $1 million idea. So slow down. There are going to be parts of your journey where you want to go faster. That's okay. But to me, this foundational piece cannot be rushed. So one day, as I was typing on my computer, as I was saying, I received an idea. Then I said, this is what I wrote, more roughly. Create resilience programs that help entrepreneurs finish their programs and achieve what they're promised. So I was extremely happy, so excited about this idea. I said, yes, this could be it. This is it. This is what I'm going to be doing now. And this was just the first version of it. Like, I knew I was onto something. So only some days later, I met with my friend and mentor, Jonathan, and he said, I remember messaging him about my idea, and I needed some feedback. I needed someone to hear it, someone smart, someone that I trusted, and obviously he was the man. And he said that it was amazing, that it sounded so powerful, so passionate. And I said, all right, whatever's going on, I'm in. So I ended up meeting with him on Zoom, and what he said blew my mind completely. So that's where his quote comes from. You know, a big idea with poor execution, and a bad idea with great execution. You remember that? I just said that some minutes ago. And then he told me, "You're sitting on a $10 million idea." That was such a shock for me. I said, "What are you talking about?" By the time I met him, I had already figured out how this idea could mean thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars for somebody. Like, I already had put my mind to it and figured out a lot of the benefits that were involved. But then when my friend said that I was sitting on $10 million a year, I said, wow, I bet I was thinking small. Not really, but in a way I was. I just was so unaware of the potential of this idea. It was insane. And over time, I only continued tuning the idea more and more and more. So once I sort of knew my basic idea, I needed to take it to the next level. So for the next months, and seriously, I did spend months without not promoting anything, just talking to people in my audience who could give me some data. I needed feedback. I needed to understand if this was viable. And by the way, there was one really important step in the art of the startup course that I was taking, which is related to validating the idea. And what he says is, it was honestly so fascinating. I've never heard this anywhere else. He said that in order to validate your idea, you have to come up with an assumption that he calls a life or death assumption. Basically, I needed to come up with that statement, which was going to tell me whether my idea was going to work or not. So before you go nuts into updating your social media, launching marketing campaigns, creating online courses, before you get into all that and get yourself in a huge mess because it was not validated, you're going to prove if your idea is something that people are going to benefit from and they're going to buy. And my life or this assumption went like this. At that time, I've already identified my audience as 7-figure business coaches. That has shifted as well, but I just want you to know that what it was at the time. So what happened after that is that I came out with this life or death assumption. I said, business coaches, seven-figure business coaches, want are willing to hire external help to support all their clients to success. So, in other words, if they're not, this is how the life or death part works. If that statement was false, the idea was not worth pursuing. That's it. And it does sound like pretty brutal, pretty harsh, but it is a step that you need to take. Again, tell your clients this. Honestly, I wasted so much time. You don't really waste any time because you learn a ton from experience. But at the same time, if I had to start over, I would 100% come up with a life or death assumption to validate. So once you have your life or death assumption for your business idea, you validate, you start talking to people, get that feedback, and find out what's true and what's not. So I did that for a while, couple of months, talking to people, talking, getting their insight. And then by the end of the year, that was 2023. By the end of the year, I already had an idea that I wanted to try. Like I was ready. So I decided to build my framework. I built the first version of my framework. It was a 3 steps process, each one with the 3 or 4 steps. It was a very long 20 pages outline, but I knew I needed all the steps to be there. And there they were. My next move was going to launch the business. So we were just talking about an idea. We went from idea to framework, and now we needed to finally get the idea out there. So I did the launch, and that launch was a 5 days challenge that only happened last month, by the way. So we're getting very close to the present. And that 5 days challenge was a really great experience because it helped me nail my audience. So I managed to direct my efforts to a more clear idea of my audience, which is critical to creating a great service and market your services properly. Honestly, I've never done anything so systematic when it comes to starting a business ever. So my challenge didn't do too well in terms of metrics, and I was not worried about it at all because I was testing something. I was testing things, and I was fine tuning my audience. So I was totally cool with that. As a matter of fact, I learned so much. I managed to discover my ideal audience. I managed to simplify my framework, and I taught it for the first time, which is epic. And that's only getting started. So now, what is the plan? What is Patrick gonna do? So, my target audience is marketing experts who run group coaching programs. So you see how nailed, how I'm tuning that in. What I wanted to do is to basically, in a few words, to become world-class leaders. But the problem that they're having is a twofold problem. First is the problem of scalability. So when coaches are making multiple 6 figures or even 7 figures, they struggle with excessive expenses and complicate their business becomes complex and very expensive. That is to me a problem because they are less profitable. They use advertising, they pay for funnels, for domains, for software, for organic. Organic is free, but it's not free because you spend a lot of time in it, or you hire people to take care of it. Do you have setters and closers and people who do your fulfillment, like client success managers? There's too much going on, and everything is expensive to a point where you're sacrificing maybe 30% of your profits just to run the business itself. So that is one big problem. And obviously, not being profitable is a problem. The second side of this same problem is that these marketing experts didn't sign up for this. They almost get to a point where they want to grow, but it feels like it has a lot of backlash that may be worth it, but it's not really sustainable. I mean, how much longer can you drag this problem of creating more and more expenses and paying commissions and hiring a bigger team? And where does all the fun go? Do you really enjoy? Are you really doing what you love, which is what you did sign up for? The second problem is Patrick's problem, and that is that no matter what they do, there are going to be a lot of clients who don't finish the program and don't succeed. They don't get what they want. And to me, this is a huge deal, considering that we are starting these expert businesses from our heart, and we care about our clients, we care about the results, and we care about making a difference. So this is a big problem. And then I said, and then, my solution, the solution that I finally settled for, is what I call comeback coaching. And comeback coaching is the process. It turns unsuccessful clients into raving fans who get results and grow your business profitably to 7 figures and 8 figures. So what this means is that we solve the profitability problem by helping more of your clients succeed, which is awesome. Everybody wins. And that is a $10 million idea right there for you. Now let's talk about my plan. So my master plan consists in a few things. First of all, let me share with you what I'm doing right now, which is following systems. I got the Unlock the Secrets by Russell Brunson, and I am sure a lot of you know that this is a workbook about the Secrets trilogy by Russell Brunson, right? So this is for us, for entrepreneurs, for those who buy the book, to write all your answers, all your assets, all your strategies, all your frameworks. You're gonna use this as your entire guide to start and grow your business. So even though there are 3 books, as you know, .com secrets, expert secrets, and traffic secrets, there's 3 of them. I want to focus on expert secrets in particular. That has been my favorite book for the longest from the trilogy. And I always wanted to be an expert, and I always wanted to learn how to do it the right way and, change lots of lives. So that is the process that I'm following. And this is my plan. So as you know, Russell Brunson proposes in 2 long-term strategies that I like to call a grand challenge. So for some context, a grand challenge is a concept that is part of my 4 walls theory. So the 4 walls theory is a framework that I developed. It's a framework for failure. It's a framework that I developed that helps marketers, marketing experts like yourself, to understand exactly why people fail, where they get stuck, and what they can do about it. So this is a new way of seeing failure, and it's completely out of the box, completely different to what common sense is telling us. We reject, me as the 4th wall theory creator, reject the idea of laziness, reject the idea of people being unmotivated, and reject the idea of blaming clients. So there has to be a better way, and I just found it. So back to the grand challenge. So the 4 walls are the things that get in the way, basically. And those are certain actions that your clients could take. So let me give you an example. The second wall is to defeat overwhelm. So overwhelm is one of the biggest killers of client success, and there are strategies to defeat it. Wall number 3 is get vulnerable. So the fear of being rejected, the fear of failure, the fear of being embarrassed, the fear of being criticized, all of those things fall under one category: getting vulnerable. So if your client is afraid of any of those things, and afraid enough for them not to take action, that is the third wall. And the fourth wall is what I call get over failure. So, but with a twist. I'm not going to get into that today, but it is getting over failure with a twist. But it is my theory that the one way to break through the fourth wall, and what does that mean to begin with? Breaking the fourth wall means imagine your client, imagine you when you were there, and breaking the fourth wall means that you not only finished the course but also got the results that you were looking for, and not any results, the results that your programs are promising. So if you promised that they would make their first sale, they would. If you promised that they would get all the way to six figures, they would. If your promise is that they are going to quit their 9 to 5, they will by breaking the fourth wall. And it is my theory that the one way to break the fourth wall is to go through a grand challenge. And the grand challenge is to commit to one thing, one marketing strategy for 12 months. And that is Patrick's plan to make this business work. As I was explaining in the book Expert Secrets, Russell Brunson proposes 2 grand challenges that I am getting myself into. The first challenge in the chapter Find Your Voice, the 12 months challenge is to publish every day for 12 months. That's how you find your voice. That's how you create a following. And you just have to do it for long enough for people to notice. That's it. And that is what I'm doing with the Client Success Secrets show. This is not going to be a daily show, but it's going to get posted weekly. And it's going to be partly, as you noticed, about documenting my journey. I'm going to be doing this for the next 12 months. So by the end of the year, you're going to expect 52 episodes. And it's going to be awesome. And it's only going to get better. And I'm going to find my voice. I think I did. Guys, I'm not no beginner here. I am going to advance a lot faster than you think. And the second grand challenge that Russell Brunson proposes in Expert Secrets is to run your webinar every week until you perfect it and hit the 2 club. So there it is. So my version of this, as I said, I never take advice and follow through. I never take advice and just follow. Like I always question it and I always try to see how I can customize it to my situation. So I made a couple of tweaks to this thing. The first one that you noticed, obviously, is that my Client Success Secrets show is not a daily thing. And that's okay. I'm still posting daily on Facebook. And I'm going to do these episodes once a week. So rather than going live for 10 minutes every day, I'm going to do this program for 1 hour per week. Sounds good? The next thing, the next twist is that I'm not going to do webinars. I'm going to do something similar, but better, which is a masterclass. So as I told you, I am a big fan of challenges, and I wanted to do challenges, 5 days challenges. They're super fun. You learn a lot, you share a lot, you connect with your people, you build trust quickly, you make sales, you get leads every single time. They're freaking awesome. My problem with 5 days challenges is that according to my research, my audience will not be too happy to show up 5 days in a row to learn anything. That's the reality. And there could be exceptions, I guess, but I have talked to, as I told you, I have done a lot of research firsthand from the people who could be interested in this, and they told me that there's a very good chance that no 6 or 7 figure entrepreneur will be willing to be there for 5 days in a row, 2 hours a day. It's a lot. So what I'm going to do instead is to turn this challenges idea into a masterclass. So a masterclass is better than a webinar, in my opinion. And the key here is that I'm going to merge the 2 ideas. I love merging ideas, by the way. There's no black and white when it comes to building an online business, especially in the coaching. category. So I decided to do a mix. So a master class is going to be like a 5 days challenge because you're going to take it because it's going to be free, because you're going to sign up, and because you're going to take a lot of action while it's happening. The second thing is that it's going to happen only for a few hours in one day. So I'm going to do it for just 2 hours once a month, and I'm going to teach my masterclass using the framework of the perfect weapon. So obviously that is something that is built over time. Guys, the perfect webinar is not just perfect because you have the perfect script. It is perfect because you commit to doing it for 12 months until it's perfect. And it's going to be perfect because you're going to attract people every single time. You're going to receive feedback from the experience and tweak that presentation every single time. So it gets better and better and better until you reach the diploma glow. And that is my plan. Again, another tweak that I'll be doing to this strategy is that I'm going to do it monthly instead of weekly. This makes sense for me in a lot of ways. I don't really see myself investing this crazy amount of time into marketing. I still have a full-time job and I have to fulfill responsibilities. I also have a life with my family and et cetera, et cetera. These are not excuses. I just wanted to make sure that my plan fits my lifestyle. But you don't want to destroy your lifestyle. You don't want to you're going to suffer. There's going to be pain here in the journey. You don't want to just be completely out of balance and becoming grow unhealthy and damage your relationships. I am serious about this. I've done it. So this is my plan. And this is in my part of my plan is what I'm going to be doing every day. So this is exciting. So in the whole year, what's going to happen is Client Success Secrets show once a week. Client Success Revolution, the Client Revolution Masterclass, it's going to be my class once a month. And then the dailies. So the dailies are super interesting. And as a matter of fact, I would love to share my screen so that you get here. Okay, you get to see what I'm doing. As you know, as you should know, I have a lot of Trello boards. Trello is one of my favorite apps for organizing everything. So over here, I have my pipeline for clients. And what I do here is to go on Facebook. I don't want to show names here, so I want to make sure. I just wanted to show you a quick layout. I don't want you to see all the names. So what I do is to go to Facebook, and every day or every other day, I really need I'm managing this in a way that makes sense, in a way that again suits my schedule, my priorities. So I am still doing it every day. But what's going to happen is that I'm going to check my friends list, right? All this and all my friends, right? So there they are. All my friends are my friends. So I'm going to check that. And let me close these things. So, and I'm going to build a list for outreach. So I really like this step. I learned it from another friend who is a coach, and it was so funny the way I learned it. He shared a video with me, and I ended up doing something. And it was about content, but I ended up learning something completely different because he just threw it out there. That is to build your outreach list. So what I'm going to do is to build my outreach list, meaning I'm going to go on Facebook and select all the people that I want to talk to that could be interested in what I have to offer, which is comeback coaching. And I'm going to give you more details on that as time goes by. But for now, that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to build that list one day. On the next day, I'm going to clear that list by messaging everybody there. I am testing also different hooks to see what first message lands better. Then I'm going to publish every day. So this is the show. You know that it's going to happen every Wednesday, but I'm going to also publish every day on my profile. Then I am going to on the same day or the next day, I'm going to nurture the leads. So because I have a pipeline, moving people from cold to warm to hot, right? That is going to allow me to see what the people who are closer to getting on a call or to joining my masterclass or to becoming clients. And then I message those people. And then you have the nurturing part of those are the people who had their first few interactions with me. I'm going to nurture them. We're going to get back to them and we're going to continue talking and building that rapport and figuring out how I can help them, basically. So that's, cold, warm, hot. Makes a ton of sense for me. So I've done it before with great results, booking lots of calls. So I'm going to do it again, but more optimized. Let me get to that next part. I am going through my entire friends list and unfriending and unfollowing all the people that do not fall in the category of my ideal clients. Some of them could be interesting connections that I don't want to get rid of, but for the most part, I have already unfriended close to 100 people. I'm pretty sure it takes a lot of time, but that is how you set up the stage for optimizing your results. Because when there's a lot of people in your friends list who are not interested in what you have to offer, it's going to be a waste of time. This Facebook algorithm is going to recommend them stuff. It's just not going to land. The next thing is did I cover everything? Outreach, clearing the outreach list, nurturing leads from warm to hot, booking calls from hot to the next step, from warm to hot. Yeah, have people join my masterclass. Yes, and I also engage. That's an important step. And the better you set up your Facebook environment, the better the strategy is going to work. So if you engage, if you go to your feed and engage with most of the posts that are there, or all those posts that are from the people that you think could be interested in your service, the algorithm is going to recommend your content to them. So that's what's really cool about Facebook. You have so much control over the algorithm. So it's one of those few places where input is going to turn into output. It isn't so unpredictable like other platforms, for example, YouTube. I know there are, I was a YouTube expert. I know there are lots of cracks, lots of cheat codes, and lots of like pulling the emotional triggers and lots of like marketing involved, which I know a lot about as well. But honestly, I'm not too happy about how much you can control what the algorithm is doing. So on Facebook, you totally can manipulate a large part of the algorithm by taking certain actions, which is awesome. So at the end of the day, I'm working really hard for this every day. That's what's happening every day, right? So that is my entire plan, pretty much. So the year plan is the Client Success Secrets show plus the Client Revolution Masterclass. The weekly plan, that's my, and then the weekly plan is the show, as I said. And the dailies are all those little sections that are going to warm up my profile, turn it into a client attraction machine, and eventually, turn those things into masterclass signups or one-on-one calls that will turn into clients. So that is my plan. I think it's going to totally work, and things are going to change over time. You have to be flexible. You have to adapt. You have to learn, and you have to never give up. That's how it works. So I'm super excited for sharing this plan with you. And before I go, I know I talked a lot about my journey. I really needed you to, get up to speed since this is my first show. Moving forward, I want to report only the things that are happening right now. So that was the summary. That was the backstory. And the third thing, the third section that I wanted to cover, which I thought was important, is to tell you more about my framework. And I want to give you a strategy that you can implement right away so that you can report to me to see how that worked for you. I am very serious. I want to encourage you to take this advice seriously, to take action, and to report back to me. That accountability. I told you I know a lot about client success. So this accountability is going to help us a lot, the two of us. And what I want you to do is just to create an online community just for your clients only online community. Could be a Facebook group, but then make it a bit more intentional. That's what a lot of people miss out on. And making it intentional is not just putting a post saying, "Oh, share your wins." No, making it intentional and most importantly, effective, has to do with a couple of other things. So I'm going to give you two uh, client only optimizations, the clients only group optimizations that are going to blow your mind. So the first one is that you're going to always request. I'm serious about this. No, wait. You're going to set. Let me go back a bit. You're going to set up the guides feature on your Facebook group, or if you have anything similar like school, just do it. Make sure that you can set things up for people to watch content or read content and take some kind of action. So on Facebook specifically, there's a feature called guides, which your people can visit. They're going to access certain material that you set up in a certain way, and then click a done button when they're finished. So what that's going to allow you to do is first to increase the accountability like crazy. You're also going to give little rewards for people making progress. And you can pretty much set up your group as if it was the coaching program itself. And also, what I heard, but I haven't seen yet with my own eyes, is that you can track who is taking action and who isn't, which is awesome. So use the guides feature. Take your time. It shouldn't be hard for you. Just break down your lessons, post everything on that group, or if you don't want to post everything on that group because you have a course posting platform, just create the guides for people to click done at the end. And the second part of the optimization is that the second optimization for clients only communities is that you want to ask your clients to post their assignments. That's what I mean when I say intentional. If they post their assignments, you're building social proof constantly. Better yet, if they have that accountability, they're more likely to finish everything. That's if you visit that group and find out that there are some people who are posting, some people who aren't posting, you can tell. And you can reach out to them. You can ask them, wait, what's going on? I realize you haven't posted anything, and you either are crushing it and not telling anyone, or you are not. You may need a little bit of support. And there is another super benefit to this strategy and to this optimization, to be specific. And that is clients posting their assignments is going to give you clues on how they get your framework. Because you might find big surprises. People thinking that they were supposed to do one thing and they end up doing another. I am serious. I mean, people are people, and the possible scenarios for them to be failing is so vast. Like seriously, it could be so many things. And then when you see an assignment posted there, you go like, you know what? I love what he's saying, but I don't think he got it the way he was supposed to. Or I'm glad she's excited about her assignment, but I would actually add a little tweak to that. So you can be, I mean, business education people. At the end of the day, we can call ourselves marketing experts. We can call ourselves entrepreneurs or business owners. We all are. We are all those things, but we're also teachers. I know teacher is a boring term, when you put it next to expert, but that's what you do. You look at their assignments and you sort of evaluate, you review it. Again, you're gonna be the person calling the shots when it comes to how much time you want to spend in this community, but I totally recommend it. And the last benefit of this strategy is social proof. People in a community like that, where they're encouraged to post their progress all the time, is building social proof. So you could take those posts and post them somewhere else. You could turn that into serious marketing to show that people are taking action in the program. And sometimes that's enough for somebody to sign up. You know why? Because we are so fixated on numbers that we don't realize that we have a lot of happy clients who are not maybe making the most money or growing the biggest following, but they are satisfied because you taught them something that they can use. So I am very excited for you to try this out. Let me know how it goes. If you need any extra help, I would love to, just work through it with you. So send me a direct message and tell me, Patrick, I think you're nuts. I like your strategy, but I didn't quite get everything that was happening. So you see how I'm like doing the inception thing where I'm doing what I just said that you should be doing. And so there you go. Let me know how things work with the clients only community and get going. So thanks for joining me on the first episode of the Client Success Secrets Show. There's going to be way more value to be delivered. And this first episode got a little long, but honestly, I'm very pleased that we did it. So have a wonderful day, and I will see you next week. Tune in every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time with Patrick.